everything. So now I gotta get back on track here. Hopefully I'm live and y'all could see me. Uh, yeah. Give me a second, everyone. Give me a second. Thing. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Again, power outage threw everything off. Um. Which sucks because the chat was on fire, man. The chat was on fire. Technical issues. I swear they're the bane of everyone's existence, isn't it? At least the bane of mine sometimes. Um. Geez. But yeah, pretty much. Um. Xbox going all in on their current strategy. Uh. Sony, the competition. Listen, people. I was actually surprised to see the reaction. The reaction to the new Mario Kart World game has been underwhelming. They try to do Mario Kart Horizon, Forza Horizon, but they learned the hard way that making an open world racer isn't as easy as it is. For the guys at Forza make it look way easier than it actually is. I've seen a lot of reactions saying, "Man, this open world is barren. It's empty. There ain't nothing to do." Sony's got nothing. They got no games. They telling you, look, we don't got shit that's coming out for another few years, year and a half. And that's why I don't think Xbox putting their games on PlayStation is saving them. That a lot of people saying it's just making money off a new consumer base. Ones who I don't even who outside of Forza Horizon, I don't think they've really bought any of these games at an extremely high level. All right. And outside the usual suspects like your Call of Duties, of course, those are going to sell each year. And so now we got Xbox saying, look, here's our new partnership. And where was I? I think I was towards the end of the video earlier. Mario Kart World is already accumulated on the Steam Deck. Oh shit, really? Yeah, but let's get back to it again. Apologized a few minutes ago. Had a power outage that just killed the vibe of things. So yeah, let's get back to the topic.
That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next
That's right. That's right.
generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
Listen. Shout out to Sarah Bond and Microsoft and Xbox. They are more confident about this next Xbox than they were about the Series X. I'm noticing. At least that's the energy I'm getting. And the Series X again, brilliant console. I love this fucking console. Right? Susan Leach said apparently Gears Reloaded is doing well in pre-orders, but we'll see how it actually sells. Yeah. Again, it's and that's the thing. The pre-orders. A lot of pre-orders doesn't exactly mean a lot of sales, but it's again, Microsoft says they're happy with it, and they're not going to stop, and I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, Rand. Yeah, thanks for joining again. Yeah, again, like I said, guys who are just rejoining, had a power outage, and it was just I don't even know what the hell happened, man. The power just went out for like a split second. Immediately came back on, and I'm like, all right, now I got to get everything set up back again. But it is what it is. That video with Sarah Bond has me excited for the next one. Yes. And let's get back to the, and they're just I like that they're going to this with a lot of confidence, a lot of bravado, a lot of hard statements, because over the last. Since the Xbox One generation, a lot of times Xbox could be they don't always say things with their full breath, right? In the sense that when they make a move, I don't always felt that they were super confident in where they're going. This I feel super confident in. Saying that your games aren't going to be tied to one store. Saying that we want Windows the #1 platform for gaming. Saying that you're going to play your games everywhere. saying that we're making new consoles, motherfuckers. So shut the hell up. Basically, that's what Sarah wants to say because it's like every week there's a new this is Xbox last console nonsense. It's not. It's not. They're not done with hardware. I meant the Xbox announcement is perfect timing, but yeah, glad you're back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My bad, man. Ren. Yeah. Yeah. Let's listen to it again. They lured PlayStation to Steam. Now the only PS games are not on Steam are Astro Bot and Gran Turismo. And look, those games are going to go to Steam eventually too, right? Listen, I know Sony recently said that they're not going to change their current strategy, blah blah blah, but I take that stuff with a grain of salt because remember they were saying that they weren't going to port their games on PC, and how did that work out? See, the thing with Sony is that you don't take them at face value for any long term planning. Hell, I'm not even sure they have a long term plan because they can't get Marathon out the door, they can't get Wolverine out the door. They can't get Intergalactic out the door. They got to rely on Ghost of Yotai, which I already saw PlayStation fans bitch because it's gonna star a woman protagonist. So I don't even know if they're gonna like that. If they could get their heads out their ass and not like act like fucking red pill YouTubers, or Death Stranding 2, which that's gonna come to Xbox. Like how Death Stranding 1 came to Xbox. So they got you know what I'm saying? And then since they aren't like the Xbox community is like, you put your games on your there are people upset at first. And you know, they either moved on or they're still gaming on their Xbox. Cause that's really all you could do after that. It's not like none of us work for Microsoft and could get in Sarah Bond's ear or Phil Spencer's ear and be like, don't put your games elsewhere. And even then, what happened? The world kept turning and Xbox is fine. Xbox still had a fantastic showcase. Xbox still have the best looking games coming out. Xbox still has the only summer Games Fest showcase people talk about and give a damn about. And now they're getting ready to go full steam ahead and control next generation gaming. Yo, Joe Sinister. Damn, man. What's up, man? Yeah, copy. Copy. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Give me a second. All right, yeah, copy. I know Joe Sinister, Sony copying off them, man. But yeah, I'm so excited for the next Xbox. Listen, my biggest concern is going to be price. It is. I think all versions of the next Xbox console are going to be digital only consoles. That's been my prediction for a little while. And the way that they're phasing out physical copies now, for example, I think games like The Outer Worlds 2 and maybe Ninja Gaiden are just going to have the disc in the case. So they're going to be these all digital consoles. They're going to I assume they're going to be super advanced, super fast, play games better than ever. Hopefully, you know what would be really cool, and this is something that I think it will get from PC, is that you know how we had stuff like FPS boost, auto HDR, but it's only been for certain games. I could see a situation where the next generation Xbox could in some way benefit every single game you own. I could see that. I could see that being how it works. And I'm curious what the chat thinks. I'd love to know your guys' prediction on everything Sarah's hinting at here in this video. Which let's run through it again for a little bit.
At Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want. That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices.
Okay, so all right, I'm glad I've replayed that because I almost missed that whole co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, and clearly this is meaning this is definitely meaning just more than the next Xbox console, definitely. I I don't know if Xbox is still going to release a dedicated, first party handheld that's going to go along with the ROG Ally. Again, this a video like this just leads to a lot of speculation, right? Long live the Black Mom said, "What did I miss? Not much, man. I'm just running down everything here." Joe Sinister, I hope they at least have a disc add on for physical. Agreed, Joe Sinister, because you're probably like me and have a ton of physical games, so it'll definitely be beneficial to have that. I It's something that I wouldn't exactly be happy about because I think paying for a disc drive is bullshit. You know what? It, I think I'll just be okay with the way it is now. There's one version without the disc drive and one with it. But eventually, Joe, we gotta be honest here. We gotta call a spade a spade. Eventually, these consoles are gonna move away from the disc drive entirely, and I think Xbox is gonna be the first to do it. Yeah, it's gonna be controversial at first, but most people are buying digital, and then the PS6 is gonna eventually do it. Uh, Eventually going to remove their disc drive or do what they're doing now and sell you a disc drive. And then the generation after that is just going to be 100% digital. Nintendo's going to do it eventually too. It's one of the things where I'm not going to sit here and do wishful thinking for something that's just not going to happen. But with that said, I'd be cool to have some type of disc version too. Because yeah, I think I can't wait to see. I really can't. I can't wait to see how they pull it off. Ren said, I think they'll do a disk drive accessory for back compat, but everything will be digital because Play Anywhere feature demands it. Yeah, Ren. You know what would be? You know what I think? I think they should do. There should be a way, and I'm surprised this hasn't been a thing yet, or maybe it hasn't. I'm just not aware of it. But there should be a way that they'd be like, okay, for you disc guys, you could put your disc in the drive. It'll upload a copy. It'll keep your license or however that's going to work. And then going forward, right? Going forward, it'll be treated as a digital copy. Maybe there'll be some legalities around it. I'm not sure how that would work. But I think that'll be a decent solution too. That way, because most of my games that I own physical, I don't have a digital version of, and vice versa, because most people just aren't going to double dip like that on their games. Yeah, there are a handful of games that I had digital physical first and bought digitally, or vice versa, because I wanted to own it, whatever the case is. But I'm not a good example because I'm more like a collector and a gamer. So my buying habits is not the same as the average gamer. As the average Xbox gamer, most of whom, by the way, something like 91% are buying digital anyway. So that's why me personally, I'm not sitting here saying like I think that this is going to be full digital console. Hopefully there are some solutions so that for those of us who own physical, we don't have to feel like we got to keep our Series X or Xbox Ones to play. You know what I'm saying, to play our disc games. I would love a legitimate solution. Hopefully they're working on that.
Of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI. All will maintain.
You know, sometimes with a lot of these, yeah, that would be dope. Sometimes with a lot of these, we're going to push innovation and gameplay and visuals farther than ever. It really does wonder how, because games now just look brilliant as they are. Um, even double A games, if they do something that's photorealistic, they'll look great. I mean, they'll look really, really amazing too. So, so maybe, for example, have you guys ever seen those YouTube channels that do like GTA hyper realistic mod? Is that what she means when she talk about how graphics will be pushed forward? I'm not entirely sure. But I know that she said before about having the greatest generational leap in Xbox history and all that stuff. And And that's another thing I'm curious to see. You know, how powerful can you, how much more powerful can you make a game? And not only that, I noticed that we also get a lot of games with different art styles too, to where the graphics aren't 100%, the visuals aren't 100% the biggest aspect. But again, we'll see. You know, will the new standard be? You know, will 120 frames be the next standard? Will 240 frames per second be a new standard? I'm not sure, and that's what makes a lot of this speculation fun to me.
Maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you.
Yeah, and you know, keeping your games with you. A lot of that stuff isn't particularly new. Um, I think physics and AI will definitely be where they push. Yes, okay, that's a great point, Joe. Because yeah, because I think that they're just running out of ways of making games look great. I mean, games like Cyberpunk and Starfield and soon to be GTA 6 and Assassin's Creed, like these games already look beyond amazing. And maybe I'm just not thinking high enough. You know, maybe since I'm not a computer engineer or anything, that I'm just not thinking of how these coders and software engineers, how they probably are limited with what they could do, and games could even look better than they do now, right? So I'm really curious on how that'll play out.
So you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device.
Yeah, so you know that's just tying everything back together. You know, games not locked to a single store. You know, being able to play anywhere you want, and I'm curious on how popular that feature is. You know, playing anywhere. You know what I think is because play anywhere games have been around for almost a decade. Because I remember even go what GT not GTA Gears of War 4. I think if you bought the Xbox version, you could play it on Windows. So that's not exactly a new thing, but they're definitely trying to advance it to almost where there isn't anywhere you could go. If you want a game, you could pretty much game anytime, anywhere, any place, anyhow, right? So we're seeing the advance of that, the you know, and how they're moving forward with playing anywhere. I'm curious how popular it is now compared to when it first happened. Because when it first started, hell, I wasn't even using it. Right? I know for damn sure I wasn't using playing anywhere with any game that I probably owned. Black Mamba said backwards compatibility with every Xbox game ever and older PC titles. An Xbox console UI experience with the ability to buy games off of other launchers within the UI, and a $600 price tag at max. Yeah. I think those three are going to be the recipe for success as well. I think the big one is going to be the Xbox console UI experience because again, they're going to be the marriage of PC and Xbox is going to convert the millions upon millions of Xbox console gamers into a more PC style. And there are aspects of PC that I don't think a lot of gamers want to deal with, right? And Black One said that's all I asked for. Yeah, man. And I think that you're onto something there. Excuse me. I think you're onto something there, Black Mamba. Um, Especially, listen, if they pull off the backwards compatibility with every Xbox game ever, that's game over. That's game over because there are so many 360 and OG Xbox games that didn't make it backwards compatible. That if you made that available, whoo, you got us in heaven. You got me in heaven. I might not need to buy another console ever again. It'd be so damn advanced. Cause you know, as someone who owns a lot of games and a lot in my share of retro Xbox games, it would be nice if I could play Transformers War for Cybertron, Transformers Fall of Cybertron. You know, these games that didn't make it backwards compatible, right? It'll be really cool to play those games. on the next Xbox. I don't need to pull out my old hardware. They could stay retired. They could stay as collector's items, and boom, I got this current the new next gen Xbox that could do all that. So yeah, I'd eat that up, man. I'd eat that up, Black Mamba. 100%. That's a lot of voice messages. Yeah, 100% Black Mamba. Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna see soon enough. Next generation's almost here. According to someone like Mr. Kima, 2026. According to me, 2027. Um, yeah, and this generation is coming to an end. But I say that lightly because hell, there's still games being released on the Xbox One, right? So if the Xbox One is still getting supported, the Series X is going to be supported all throughout next generation too. I bet. Yeah, but yeah, guys, I wasn't going to be here long. I'm about to wrap it up here. I do got other stuff to do. I just saw this video, thought it would make for a great conversation, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Again, sorry for the power outage that kind of split this one in two, but you guys have a great rest of your day.